Hello everyone and welcome back to Business Apocalyptus. We're your friendly guides to Doomscrolling Zombieland. Today I have some very interesting topics to discuss with our new special guest, Erin.
Hi everyone, my name is Erin Yankanich and I'm super thrilled to be a part of this conversation today. Big thank you to Lexy for allowing me the platform to speak. That being said, I would like to first connect with the audience and say I am by all means one of you guys. I have spent far too many nights lost in the scroll myself. If you're coming across me right now, lost in the scroll, take this as your wake-up call and tune in a little bit.
It makes me very excited to get into our first question. Can you tell me what exactly is making us doomscrolling zombies? How have all of us succumbed to just endless scrolling, and why?
Why? Well, our brains love chaos, and more recently we have chaos connected to Wi-Fi. It's easily accessible all the time and it's fast. Kind of like when cable TV came out, and we saw how even the shows that were shown on cable TV shifted the lives of many people that were watching them. Social media is a series of dopamine hits that's seriously like a drug, guys. One hit and you're hooked.
So would you say this is more of a psychological issue or just the natural consequence of humans having the attention span of a dehydrated goldfish?
I'd say it's both. Psychologically, yes, humans do crave quick and convenient stimulation, and digital technology gives us an endless buffet of that. But sadly, however, we do also have short attention spans. In 2004, we had an average attention span of 2.5 minutes, and now, mind you, this was before all of the modern tech. And now, earlier generations like millennials and Gen X are only having attention spans of 8 to 12 seconds.
So, for my next question, you mentioned that doomscrolling and consumerism kind of feed off each other. How exactly does my anxiety end up in my shopping cart? Because I certainly do a lot of late night TikTok shop adding, and somehow at the end of the month I have a very large credit card bill.
Yes, doomscrolling and consumerism are working hand in hand on these platforms, and these are the same platforms that are causing a lot of unrecognized anxiety in a lot of us. It's the newest form of capitalism, and I've trademarked this as the emotional economy. The more anxious or empty you feel, the more susceptible you are to go to your phone for an instant source of gratification or satisfaction. And so when you have advertisements pummeling your feed in a time when you're feeling anxious or empty, you then also become more susceptible to buy something that promises relief.
Is this like emotional support spending? Or is it more the algorithm knows I'm sad, and so it sells me a $300 lamp to fix it?
That's a funny question. I think it began as emotional support spending, and then the algorithm figured that out and started using our consumer data and just user data to manipulate us into spending more. You know, the algorithm knows everything down to your typing speed. It's so advanced, it knows when you are sad and scrolling at 3 a.m. and when you are in the most vulnerable state to buy that $300 lamp you don't need. It's not reading your mind, but it's reading your behaviors and then capitalizing on your cortisol levels.
Hearing about how the algorithm is tracking us and leading to what we're spending and knows what we're watching and how to interact with us, a little scary, I'm not gonna lie. But let's hop into my next question. Social comparison and how it's a big part of our digital collapse of self-image, more specifically in young adults. So how do you think seeing everyone else's edited life is impacting the way we spend and how we project ourselves on social media?
Have you ever heard the quote, "Comparison is the thief of joy"? Comparison culture is the serial killer of self-confidence. I mean, we see luxury and lavish lifestyles portrayed on social media, and we're tricked into believing that identity is something you can buy. Have you ever had a friend say something along the lines of, "Oh, if I had money, I would have a style"? While you may be able to buy things that emphasize your style, you can't buy a style, you can't buy a personality.
And be honest, does the algorithm purposely show us hotter, richer, and just overall better people? Like every time I log onto social media, someone is going on some extensive trip or just bought the hottest new luxury item, and I'm like, how are we competing? How do we keep up with this? It just feels impossible.
I'd say that they show us those kinds of people to keep us insecure. Yes, maybe to keep us humble in a way, but to keep us down on ourselves. Algorithms are emotional puppeteers. You know, they want us to feel anxious and empty because that's when we are most susceptible to buy something.
And let's talk about advertising. Modern targeted ads feel less like marketing and so much more like psychic attacks. How personalized are these systems really? How does Facebook know that I'm looking for the new Ninja Creamy?
Oh, it's disturbingly personalized, if you couldn't already tell. A psychic attack is actually a great analogy. However, it's more of a statistical attack, which I don't know if that makes this better or worse, but ad systems know not just what you're clicking, they know every detail. Point blank period, everything you're doing on your phone, the ad system is aware of. And they know your next emotional dip before you even have it, and then sell you the comfort before you even feel bad. So that's where it gets disturbing, because they know us a little bit too well, maybe better than we know ourselves.
Is it possible that the algorithm knows that I need therapy before I know I need therapy? Because it's getting a little scary.
Well, it very well could be. It probably knew that you needed therapy 3 months before you needed therapy, but instead of offering you talk therapy, it offered you retail therapy.
If we're all trapped in this doom-scrolling consumer feedback loop, is there any actual way out? Or should we just start crocheting our own apocalypse survival kits now?
Small way out. It's not a huge dramatic thing like deleting everything on your phone and hoarding canned food underneath your steps. It's simple. The first step is awareness, which I'm hoping most of you have gained from this episode, Lexy, right? That being said, a few actionable steps we can take is maybe setting screen time limits, turning off notifications for social media, using our D&D, how touch grass.
Realistically, does anyone escape without deleting every app and retreating into the woods to live off the grid, kind of like the Unabomber?
Okay, I don't mean to contradict what I just said or discourage anyone, but a full escape is rare. There are some outs, but the full escape, it's just hard. Digital behaviors are so intermeshed in our daily lives that they've almost become essential, but the goal is just to stop letting the internet babysit our brains.
Well, thank you so much, Erin, for that very insightful conversation, and I'm gonna go delete TikTok now. It really allowed me to rethink my perspective on social media, and hopefully many of our viewers will do the same. It's very important to be mindful how you consume, how you scroll, and what you're purchasing. Don't allow yourself to slip into a doom-scrolling, endless cycle of bed rotting. It's very dangerous. Thanks again, Erin, and this was Business Apocalyptus.